I always believed dental problems were small problems. Annoying, yes. Painful sometimes. But dangerous, I never imagined that. I grew up in a time when people pulled their own teeth with pliers in the garage, where a toothache meant you chewed on the other side for a few weeks until it stopped. My parents never took us to dentists unless something was truly unbearable. So when I got older, I carried that same attitude, brush, rinse, hope for the best. The dentist was something I went to when I had time, which, if I'm honest, meant almost never. I didn't realize teeth can kill you, not figuratively, literally. No one ever said that a small infection in the mouth can spread silently, drifting through the bloodstream toward the heart, the brain, the organs that keep you alive. Maybe they told me once, but I didn't listen. I thought brushing twice a day was enough. I thought mouthwash fixed everything. I thought pain meant inconvenience, not danger. I didn't understand how wrong I was until the day I woke up feeling like poison was flowing through my veins. The tooth that started all of this had been bothering me for months. It was a molar on the upper left side. Not excruciating, just sensitive sore when I bit down. At first the ache came and went. I ignored it. I chewed on the right side. I blamed age. I blamed cold weather. I blamed everything except the truth that an infection was forming quietly beneath the surface. My daughter Anna noticed me wincing once while eating. "Mom, are you okay?" she asked. I waved her off, saying, "Just a little toothache." She frowned. "You need to see a dentist." I shook my head. "It'll go away." That phrase, "it'll go away," is one of the most dangerous lies I ever told myself. The pain grew slowly, the way a leak starts in a ceiling, drip by drip, until one morning you walk in and the entire roof has collapsed. The ache turned into throbbing. The throbbing turned into pounding. Sometimes the left side of my face felt warm. Sometimes my gums swelled slightly. Sometimes the pain shot up toward my temple. I took over-the-counter painkillers. I chewed cloves. I swished warm salt water. I did everything except the one thing that mattered, seeing a dentist. I didn't go because of money, because of fear, because of embarrassment, because I didn't want to hear bad news, because I kept convincing myself it wasn't serious, because I thought I could tough it out, because I didn't want to burden my daughter. Every excuse became a brick in the wall I built between myself and the help I needed. Then came the day the pain suddenly stopped. Completely. It felt like a miracle. I remember smiling to myself, thinking, "See, it went away after all." I didn't know that sometimes when an infection becomes severe enough, the nerve dies. Pain disappearing wasn't a sign of healing. It was a sign of danger advancing. A week later, I woke up exhausted. Not the usual tiredness old people carry. This was heavy, like my limbs were filled with sand. When I stood, my head spun. I thought maybe I hadn't slept well. I drank water, lay back down, but my heart pounded too hard for such small exertion. I felt warm, feverish. I chalked it up to a cold. By afternoon, I had chills so violent that my teeth chattered. My daughter came by to drop off groceries and took one look at me before her eyes widened in alarm. "Mom, you're burning up," she said, touching my forehead. I tried to sit up straighter, pretend I was fine, but the truth was already written across my body. When she asked if anything had hurt lately, the word tooth slipped out before I could stop it. Her face changed instantly. Fear, frustration, worry. "Mom," she whispered, "a tooth infection can be serious." I wanted to say no, to dismiss it, to minimize it, but then a wave of dizziness hit me so strong that I had to grip the couch to stay upright. That was the moment my daughter called 911. I tried to tell her it wasn't necessary, but my body betrayed me. My vision blurred. My breathing shortened. My hands trembled uncontrollably. The paramedics arrived quickly. When they took my temperature and blood pressure, their expressions grew tense. "She needs to go now," one of them said. They put me on a stretcher. The embarrassment washed over me like heat being carried out of my home because of a stupid toothache felt humiliating. I didn't yet understand that humiliation was nothing compared to what was coming. At the hospital, everything accelerated. Blood tests, IV lines, oxygen, beeping machines surrounding me like a cage of consequences. A doctor came in, serious but kind. He said 2 words that froze me inside sepsis and source. Then he looked inside my mouth and said, "This tooth is severely infected. It's likely the cause." Sepsis, blood infection. The thing that kills quickly, silently, without mercy. The word felt unreal, like it belonged in medical dramas, not inside my bloodstream. They started strong antibiotics immediately. They gave me fluids. They monitored my heart. But my body was already in battle mode, fighting something far stronger than pain. I drifted in and out of consciousness. Sometimes I heard voices, nurses calling my name, Anna, crying softly beside me, machines beeping urgently. Sometimes I couldn't tell if my eyes were open or closed. At one point, a doctor explained that they needed to surgically remove the tooth and drain the abscess. I barely remember the procedure. I just remember waking up with a swollen jaw, a bitter taste in my mouth, and a fear I had never known before, a fear of my own body. The days that followed were a blur of weakness. My heart rate was unstable. My blood pressure dropped dangerously low. My kidneys struggled. They told me sepsis affects everything, not just one part of you. I lay there with tubes in my arms, oxygen in my nose, feeling like a fragile version of myself I didn't recognize. My daughter stayed at my side through all of it. One night, when the nurses dimmed the lights, she held my hand and whispered, "Mom, you scared me. You really scared me." I whispered back, barely audible, "I'm sorry." And I was. Sorry for ignoring the signs, sorry for brushing her off, sorry for thinking a tooth couldn't hurt me, sorry for thinking I didn't need help. Recovery was long. My energy didn't return for weeks. My muscles weakened from lying in the hospital bed. My voice sounded strange, thin, ashamed. But the hardest part wasn't the physical recovery. It was the realization that something so small, so seemingly insignificant, had almost killed me. Now, when I look at myself in this hospital mirror, I see a woman humbled by a tooth I could have fixed months ago with one simple appointment. A tooth that cost me thousands of dollars in hospital bills, weeks of recovery, and almost my life. I learned too late that infections don't care about pride or convenience or excuses. They grow, they spread, they wait for the perfect moment to strike. If someone were listening, someone feeling a toothache and saying, "I'll deal with it later," someone ignoring the swelling, the sensitivity, the lingering pain, I'd tell her this later, becomes too late faster than you think. A tooth isn't just a tooth. It's a doorway to your bloodstream, and once infection crosses that doorway, everything changes. If I could go back, I'd schedule the appointment the first day I felt that ache. I'd tell my daughter sooner. I'd stop pretending dental care was optional. I'd stop thinking pain meant inconvenience instead of danger. I'd choose discomfort now instead of disaster later. But I can't go back. I can only hope my story reaches someone before their small pain becomes a life-threatening silence. Your mouth is connected to your life more than you realize. Don't wait for a tooth to teach you that lesson the hard way.